What to build, or more importantly, what not to build, is the question I want to answer today. As a product manager, you probably have a million ideas of your own which features to build, or you're probably bombarded with feature requests from all sides. But how do you decide which features should make the cut and which ones shouldn't is the topic of today's video. But before that, if you just got hired as a PM and you're wondering what in the world do I do now, I'm here to help you out. My name is Jelena and I'm a VP of product in a remote startup, and I've been doing product for over 5 years. If your job currently feels like everything everywhere all at once, I created this channel to help you master product management with confidence and clarity every step of the way. Alright, so let's get into the video. So as a product manager, one of your critical responsibilities is basically to make sure that the work that you and your team are doing is actually impactful, meaning creating value for the users and the company. But to know which type of work or features will actually move the needle is not such an easy job. Before diving into building new features and just shipping the code, here are 3 things you might want to consider. The number one thing to consider is the strategic fit of the feature you're thinking about building. Now, I don't particularly like to discuss features because features are oftentimes solution focused. They're essentially solutions. And what happens when we discuss features in a team is that we tend to get biased and we start to believe that the specific feature is the only solution to a specific user problem. However, there is more than one way to skin a cat. By the way, that's kind of a morbid expression. The point is that there are many paths you can take to reach the same end. And there are many solutions or features you can build to solve the same user problem. So when you're evaluating if something is worth building, it's better to stay focused on the opportunity validation. And opportunities are all the problems, pain points, needs, and desires that your users struggle with. So the first step when evaluating if a specific body of work is worth pursuing is to narrow down on the opportunity and assess its strategic fit. So strategic fit means understanding how a specific opportunity fits with your team's goals, product goals, and the business goal. This means understanding how if you solve a specific user point, need, pain point, or desire, you will actually, by solving it, drive your team's goals, your product goals, and the company goals. Every successful opportunity aligns with the strategy on each and every one of these 3 levels. So again, your team's goals, your product goals, and your company's goals. So now if you're in an early stage company where it's more common to build, you might want to take a pause here and align with your team on the outcomes you're after, what you actually want to accomplish. And in doing this, you will invest wisely in your product, especially if you're strapped for resources. This is very important. When you're strapped for resources, you want to be very smart about what you're building. So when you're deciding what to build or not to build, the first step is to evaluate the strategic fit of the work you're thinking about doing, meaning how this work will drive your team's goals, the product goals, and the business goals. When doing product work, it's my experience that as product managers, we're always trying to find the sweet spot between the user and the business. That's why considering the user value of the opportunity you're pursuing is the number 2 thing to consider when deciding what to build. In your role as a PM, your primary responsibility is to understand your users and represent their needs inside your company. This means that you need to be very clear on who your users are, what their needs, again, pain points and desires, I'll say this 100 times. What are they trying to accomplish with your product? What problem are they facing? And why that problem matters, and so on, kind of to develop your user profile. Shameless plug over here. If you're finding this video valuable, please give it a thumbs up. As a PM, you know how important the signals are for the algorithm training, so please help me train the algorithm. Also, subscribe to my channel for more product videos like this one. So you want to do this kind of to develop deep understanding or who your users are and what's on their A-list. Because when assessing if something is worth pursuing, besides evaluating strategic fit, you want to evaluate the user value. That's a lot of evaluate. So meaning, what can you do with your work to solve a relevant problem for your users? So when you're clear on the user problem, it enables you to build features and products that solve them, and in doing that, deliver value for the user. And if your feature doesn't solve a relevant user problem, your feature will probably flop. For an opportunity and later feature to be worth pursuing, it must have meaningful value for the users. It must solve an important problem for them. And speaking of user value, I'm doing 20-minute free consultations over on Zoom in order to help you with your needs and pain points. So if you're interested in meeting with me, follow the scheduling link in the description box down below for a free consultation. Now back to the video. As I said earlier, as a product manager, we are always trying to find the sweet spot between the user and the business. So this means when you're clear that a specific opportunity has meaningful value for the user, the next thing to consider is how the opportunity will capture some of the value for the business as well. So business value is the number 3 thing to consider when deciding what to build or what not to build. When you evaluate the business value of the work you're thinking about doing, you ensure that the work will have basically positive impact on the user, but also on the business. When the work has positive impact on the business, you're also building your reputation as a product manager with your team and the stakeholders because you're creating impact. If an opportunity doesn't have positive impact on the business, then it's probably just not worth pursuing, especially if it doesn't have positive value for the user. So what does the business value look like? Well, in most cases, it means an improvement in a specific business metric, such as revenue, but it also can mean an improvement in user rating of your product or increased downloads of your app or just generally positive reputation. The relevant value will highly depend on your company's goals and should align with them. So understanding the business impact of the work you want to do is the number 3 thing to consider when you're deciding what to build or what not to build. So that was it. 3 things to keep in mind when building your product: strategic fit, user value, and business value. This will help you decide what to build or what not to build. If you'd like me to do a video that goes deeper into each of these 3 and how exactly to kind of go about this process, please drop me a comment. Also, let me know what is your process of deciding what to build or not to build as a product manager. Thank you for watching. Here, somewhere on the screen, is another video from me that you might enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Until the next video, keep creating user value. Bye.